What's up, Arrow?
Well, how's it going, Mara?
It's going good, girl.
Yes?
Yeah. How
That's
about
good.
you? You look great.
Thank you, so do you.
It's good to see you.
I know.
Being back here in New York City, it's been a whole other experience coming back to New York.
Yeah.
Just
We had
like
a
simple
hell-
things.
Right.
I came back and it was snowing. It was crazy.
Horrible.
The subways were crowded. Subways are crazy.
Always. It's always crazy here.
Yeah.
And then I think that people don't realize what they're doing when they're in the subway. They have no etiquette whatsoever. And they're not inclined to realize their personal space.
Right.
Crossing over to other people's boundaries. And I think that's something that we all have issues with, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed this craziest things, right? That's happening in the subway.
Oh my God.
Like, what happened to you the other day?
Okay, so there was a man. Oh, first of all, there's only small space for you to sit. And that small space, let me just show you let me describe the size of the seat. Maybe 4th grade, 3rd grade little girl could be able to fit in, or little boy would fit in. That's how small the space was.
Between the two people?
Yes, between myself and this other gentleman. So we were on the number 3 train heading uptown. And this gentleman came in probably from 42nd Street Station.
Right.
And there were obviously a couple of other seats, but he particularly wanted to sit next to me and this gentleman, because we had this vibe. I don't know why. So he decides to sit, but that's fine. The etiquette is that you sit at the very cliff of the seating if you can't fit in. But
right, because if you squish all the way back.
Yeah, and then when you inhale and breathe.
Was he big too?
No, he wasn't. But the thing is that his jacket on top of his slim body, it was, I would say, large size of a man, So he sits back and really put his buttock all the way to the end of the seat. I couldn't believe he was doing it because I kept looking at him. And then I looked at the side of this other gentleman who was sitting next to him, and we looked at each other and we just couldn't believe it. Like how when you're shocked and you can't believe the situation and you just let it happen. So needless to say, 72nd Street, this man sees another seat cross of him. So he actually went to the other seat and he sat down. And then I looked at the gentleman who was sitting aside from me, and we looked at each other. We had a mutual understanding. Can you believe this is happening? So while we were doing this man chimes in and says, "Excuse me, if you have anything to say, please say it in front of my face."
Was the one that squished in there?
Yes. So I said, "Oh, hell no. Yes, I have something to say to you." So I mentioned to this man, and he said, "Well, I'm sorry if I don't have a particular subway etiquette." I said, "Well, therefore, I'm going to teach you. When that happens, what you should do is sit at the very edge. That's what you do until the other party stands up."
That's right. Out there, you guys know that, right?
Your butt is too big. That's exactly what I told this man. Your butt is too big. Can you not see the difference between your butt size and look at the size of the seat? And he looked at me and he said something about sex. What is it? He mentioned that I was being prejudiced.
Sexual harassment?
Like I was prejudiced, and if he was a woman, I would not have said it.
About his butt?
Yes, I said butt is butt and big is big. And this seat is too small for your big ass to sit down.
Well, he should have been reading all the signs. I've noticed since I came back all of these signs in the subway that talk about subway etiquette.
I think that's very important.
There's that one about, let's see, dude, stop the spread, please. You guys know that one where the person sits down with their legs wide open.
Thank you.
Taking up two spaces.
Really?
Right?
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too much space. Close your legs. We know that. What about it? What's another one that they have?
When there's a pole and if there's empty space in the subway cart, that's fine. You could lean on it. You could hug it. That's fine.
Right.
But when it's crowded, you shouldn't hug it because you need other people to hold that, pole, especially like small person like me.
What do you mean, like when they're leaning? I think
they're hugging.
The subway etiquette is departing ass. Yes, and the pole goes like this.
Thank you. We don't want your crack of ass touching the pole that we're going to be holding on to. Kind of dirty.
One of my favorite ones is the one where it says that what is it? Oh, the poles are for your safety, not your latest routine, and it shows a person break dancing.
Yes, I know. And you know what? Most importantly, please change the routine sometimes because we would not like to revisit each counter. Like it gets kind of boring. So change up the routine, be artist and be creative and rehearse some couple of other moves.
And what about take your backpack off?
That's
important. On there too.
I agree.
Especially when it's crowded, you know.
And then especially when they turn.
And they're bumping
It's like, hello.
A lot of the tourists do that. They don't know.
I agree.
A lot of tourists have these backpacks and everything.
Okay, another thing that's not normally on the website is that when you're sitting and someone's standing in front of you and they have newspaper, please don't open that shit wide. Everybody knows you could read. And nobody cares if you're reading New York Times, etc., etc. It's a fabulous newspaper. We all read it. But there's an etiquette to it. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Like they tend to open up really wide and you don't have space for that.
And you don't have space.
It's so rude. And then when you have like book, you know, you're reading the book and they tend to be like really low because we're at a certain age and people have to have glasses on.
Like
totally get it. You know, but the thing is that, you know, have it to a certain level where it's not touching the person's head who's sitting down below that book. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say
it's not nice.
We just need to respect each other's personal space.
I agree.
On the subway.
I agree. And if other person realize that you're invading your space and they tend to look certain way, understand that they probably are in the right and just say excuse me and then smile and keep it moving and that's all we ask.